Hello, people. This is Holywarrioryancy, and I want to talk about keeping your cool. We can't control the negative things that come at us in life. Life dishes out situations that downright irk us to the core of our being, and we can't control those situations at all. But the only thing we can control is how we react to certain situations. Me, myself, getting angry at situations that were beyond my control, um, they did damage in my life. Caused me to do things that I regret. Caused me to do things that I had to pay for and are still paying for. For instance, back in 2014, there was a music teacher at my children's school, and this music teacher was abusing the children. Don't get me wrong, I understand that children can get out of hand. The music teacher was a man, and I understand, a lot of black children growing up really don't respect men due to a lack of the father being in the home and a mother talking bad about that father or talking bad about men in general. It's real hard for black men. And teacher was getting disrespected left and right. But what he did was he had a habit of getting in the kid's face, gripping him up by the collar, and pushing him up against the wall. The teacher, he was wrong, and it's been going on for a while. Back then, a situation came about where he attacked my son. I don't know what was going on. I guess he ain't listened fast enough. I don't know what was going on. But he gripped my son up by the collar and shoved him up against the wall. My son told me what happened during this time. Um, my ex had him one week and I had another week, and this happened on her week. So I get a call from her, then she gives me the phone and I talk to him. And I tell my son, what did you do? What did you do wrong? And what's the truth? This couldn't have happened. And he tells me, no, Dad, it really did happen. He just grabbed me in my collar and pushed me against the wall hard. So I had to do a little bit more digging myself. And I happened to knew a guy that worked at the school, good brother. He told me that the teacher has indeed been doing that to children. And there's been a few mothers that came up there, and they basically just tell them whatever they want to hear to shush them out the way and get them going. And there's been a whole lot of crazy things going at the school. And the principal, was trying to keep it under wraps. But anyway, I got upset. Once I found out that this guy was abusing children, I was pissed. But when I heard my son on the phone telling me that he really did hurt him, I was super pissed. So from there, I got in contact with the superintendent of the school and arranged a meeting for the next day. Mind you, thinking back, I really should have just let my ex go by herself, you know, because I was that upset. Meeting continues on. I'm sorry, going to the meeting. We go to the meeting, meet the principal. I tell her that I got information about the guy and that I'm not the only person complaining about him. Of course, she denied it, and she wanted permission to have the music teacher come in on the meeting, which I wanted. I really wanted it. And as soon as the guy jumped in there, I lost it. As soon as he came in the room, I looked at this guy as a man. And like, did you put your hand on my child? The man could not look me in my eye. So I had some exchange of words with him. And in the spirit of how you like it if I did you like you did my son and how you did those children. So I gripped the man up by the collar and pushed him to the wall. And I told him that if he ever touched my child again, he ain't gonna like what's gonna happen. Come to find out a year later that he pressed charges on me. After the incident, he was so hurt and embarrassed by what I did to him that he approached the guy that told me what he was doing, and he wanted to fight him in the classroom in front of children. Because of this situation, he pressed charges. In Pennsylvania, teachers are protected under a certain grade or whatever. I don't know the term, but he has benefits of being a teacher. So instantly, a simple assault charge became an aggravated assault charge. And also, the principal who's been keeping the guy under wraps, she lied and said that I pushed her too, trying to get to him. She lied and said I choked this man, which I didn't do. I just grabbed him by his collar. She said that I punched him a few times. And she even went to say that his neck was red. And mind you, this guy is Wesley Snipes black, and me choking him for 30 seconds like that affidavit said, which is a lie, his neck would not been red. But anyway, I lost it. And this incident had me go through the court system, which is totally unfair. After this incident, the guy, he was let go from the school because he was an unstable cat. So he got fired. And he left. So after I turned myself in a year later, after I found out charges were pressed, he was gone. Mind you, I went to court a few times. I do give respect to the principal because she fessed up that I didn't hurt her like the affidavit said. So she told the truth eventually. But the state picked up the charges. I go to court maybe like 6 times. Guy never shows up. Get a lawyer, a good lawyer I paid for, to have them get the charges dropped because I had no accuser. This guy, all the dirt he did caught up to him. And he was gone. He fled. He fled. But anyway, I go to court. He doesn't show up. I have no accuser. Lawyer puts in the order to get the charges dropped. Nasty, bigoted judge, like, I'm not going to drop the charges. And mind you, I've never been in trouble with the law in my life. All my preteens and teens, 20s, and up to age 32, I never had a problem with the law whatsoever. Besides, getting a ticket or something. No record whatsoever. So, I was currently working in security a year afterwards. a job that I was really trying to make into somewhat of a career. Getting ready to get took to another site, and the whole incident pops up. And mind you, I didn't know, but I didn't know that the guy pressed charges. Because after it was rumored that he pressed charges, I called the police, and they told me there was nothing there in my name. So I don't know how all this went about, but it was no record or nothing, unless somebody lied to me on the phone. But anyway, I ended up losing my job when I had another background check done for me for another position, and I had felony charges. So I got in trouble because they said I failed to inform them of any changes, and I didn't really know. So I lost that job. Also, it's been hard for me to find a job, as I was going to court for about a good 7 months or so. Going back to court, which is God never show up. So all this time, I'm without a job because of the charges and an outstanding warrant that I didn't know I had on me. It was hard for me to find a job during that time. Got rejected from a good correction job because of charges pending. It was hard for me to really find a job because every time a background check was done, felony charges were on there. Mind you, I wasn't convicted, but I was charged. Eventually, I had to accept a plea deal. My parents forked up the money for the lawyer, 5 G's. I was out of work, dead broke. And in order to take it to trial, they would have to fork up another 5 G's, and I didn't want to do that to them. So I just took the plea deal, which I come to find out that's what they do. They play around with brothers in court and try to get them to take these plea deals. And the plea deal was that I do anger management, and that I do probation for 2 years. And all my felony charges were dropped, which is the aggravated assault charge that the principal said I pushed her, which wasn't true, and for him. So I just had a simple assault charge. Mind you, simple assault charge is a misdemeanor, but it might as well be a felony because can't really get a job with that either. Tried to go to Walmart, couldn't get nothing. And currently, moved here to Baltimore. Amazon wouldn't hire me. Came in twice to trying to get work at Amazon and got just close to it until I get a rejection letter saying no. Amazon's decided not to hire you. And it's like, it's crazy. It's like I can't explain to them. I couldn't even talk to the judge. The whole time I was going back and forth to court, I couldn't even talk to the judge. Judge wouldn't talk to me. He would just talk to my lawyer. How I wish I could have just pleaded to the judge. Judge, I've been a youth minister, for 12 years. I'm a loving father. My teens, 20s, and up to age 32, I never had a problem with the law whatsoever. Never. This situation happened because I lost my cool because what he done to my son. and what he did to my son. And as a parent, a lot of people get upset if another man, me personally as a man, yes, I'm wrong for taking matters to my own hands, but grant me some grace. A man just put his hand on my child. I'm the protector of my child. You know what I mean? I couldn't even tell the judge nothing. Can't even tell Amazon something. And I do tell Amazon different employers, they're not trying to hear that. But I lost so much, all because I lost my cool. Had I calmed myself down and just pressed charges against that man, I'd have been a whole lot better off. My record would still be clean. I would have had a better job. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have to pay $1,800 in court costs. Wouldn't have had 2 years of probation. But I give shout out to my probation officer out of Chester, PA, Stacy Nickerson. She treated me with dignity. She treated me with respect. She knew that I wasn't a criminal. She knew that I'd never been in trouble with the law before. She understood my situation, and she was really fair with me. Only had to meet her every 2 months. She really looked out, and I praise God for that. But mind you, all this turmoil I went through could have been avoided if I would have kept my cool. Other situations, I'm a divorced man. My marriage didn't end pretty. My ex stepped out on me. There was harsh words said. There was bad things done. Needless to say that there was a lot of animosity between us. And we will often get to places in which things were cordial, as she likes to say, and we get along well. And a lot of times, in dealing with her, there's some things that I deal with I feel is unfair, and I don't get on her case about it. I hold my tongue, I hold back, and I just pray on things. However, when she's upset over a misunderstanding or whatever, she tends to lash out on me with insults and everything else, and often I will just lose it, making things a whole lot worse. Mind you, I'm not bashing, I'm just being transparent and sharing my story. It's so much better if you go down a path that anger doesn't drag you down. I know that life is crazy, and you can be in situations, it's like you can have the perfect day. Then somebody comes along and messes it up by saying something nasty to you or doing something wrong to you or whatever. And if you let anger get the best of you, you can have things just blow up and cause all types of chaos. This is my advice, and I hope that you get something from me sharing. When turbulent situations come your way, and it's normal to get a bad, crazy reaction, I urge you, I beseech you, to walk away, to calm down. Every crazy situation, your reaction doesn't have to be crazy to deal with it. Sometimes it's best just to be quiet. Sometimes it's best just to walk away. Sometimes it's best just to retreat and get your mind right and get your emotions right and save yourself from some trouble, save yourself from making things worse, save yourself from doing something stupid, reacting to somebody else's mess. Don't let a crazy situation that life throw at you cause you to explode. Pause. Keep silent. Retreat for a little bit. When somebody comes at you negatively or does you wrong, you don't always have to fight fire with fire, and you don't have to react negatively to their negativity. When those situations come in life where you feel that fire growing inside you, when you're deeply angered, when you feel disrespected, before you do anything, before you say anything, retreat and think. If I could go back knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have attended that meeting. I would have just went to the police and let the cops deal with that teacher. Now, some of the mistakes I made wrong with my ex, instead of being upset and angry at the things she said and done to me, I wish I would have just temporarily retreated, went to my prayer closet and prayed, got my mind right, and then tried to deal with her as civil as possible. And if that didn't work, continue to go in my prayer closet. You know? Keep cool, people. Keep cool. This is Holywarrioryancy. Hopefully this video helps somebody. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment. A brother's trying. A brother is truly trying. Till then, take care, people. God bless.